How did Micah handle this week, just with, sort of the hype around him and going back to Dallas?
From my perspective, it's been just like every other week. So, but I guess you'd have to ask him.
What does Clowney potentially give them?
An experienced veteran that's played at a really high level for a really long time. So, obviously, he has been a game wrecker in the past, and certainly, is capable of doing some really good things for them.
Matt, you obviously have competed against Dak over the years. Just what has he done this season and how he's handled things with that offense?
Yeah, I think Dak's an outstanding quarterback. He's always been able to he makes every throw on the field. He can beat you with his legs. I think he's an unbelievable competitor, just from my vantage point, watching him from afar, going against him. I just think he's an impressive guy.
Did Belton get hurt in practice on
He did.
Wednesday?
Yes.
What happened there?
He got hurt in practice.
Is that, do they think it's long-term, or?
I don't think it's long-term, no, but he will not be playing this week.
What have you thought of Kennard in your month with him?
I think he's done a nice job. I think he gets better every day, gets more comfortable with what we're asking him to do, and and I think even in the limited snaps that he's played for us, I think he's done all right.
Just what sort of challenges that been? I think he had 4 right tackles last week alone.
Yeah, it is what it is. Just next man up, and you got to adjust and adapt and try to put these guys in the best spot as possible.
What have you seen from Nate Hobbs the last 2 weeks as he's come back from the injury?
Just a guy that's getting more comfortable in what we're asking him to do and playing with more confidence.
With teams kind of dialed in on trying to stop Josh, is there any way out of that other than at some point you just got to start, not every down obviously, but you just got to throw him out of that, or is there another way around that if teams are going to want to just focus on it?
I think it's a combination of a lot of things. I think, maximizing your opportunities. We just went through our run meeting and just looking at some of these ops that we've had this year that we haven't capitalized on, whether it's, poor aiming points, whether it's not sustaining blocks, that, we've got to get corrected. So I think that's a multi-layered question in regards to what can you do. Some of it's, making sure that you have advantageous looks to run the ball in regards to if you have a can on a play. So you're not running into worse looks. There's a lot of ways to attack that.
So how do you get an advantageous look if they have 7 guys in the box and you've got 5 linemen? And
Well, potentially, yeah. That's potentially. Typically, the less advantageous looks are your 8-man fronts when they're playing single safety behind it, and then it depends what type of coverage, whether it's 3 deep, whether it's man, how geared down, like basically how do the linebackers attack the line of scrimmage. So the counter to that is typically those are better looks to throw the ball, which is your point. So there could be some of that.
Over the years, every week and during the schedule, you've either got some staff or some players that played for the coaches or for the opposing team. How significant is that information when you're making your decisions on how to approach a game?
I think there's a little bit that you can take from that, but obviously you're referencing Micah having played there, I believe.
That's the exception, and that's huge.
Sure, but they also have Kenny Clark, so it kind of it all evens out.
But you still got to stick to what you saw on the tape the first 3 weeks, too.
100%, 100%. And I think, you can gather some information and then you got to see if it matches up with what you're seeing.